Really great way to finish up a spring camp of 15 practices. Was glad to see how the quarterbacks performed today. I thought they were efficient, had good decision making, got the ball out on time. I was proud of our offensive line too, physicality that they brought to the line of scrimmage. Nice to get the ball to the tight ends and the running backs today. That was a point of emphasis, and it was nice to see Josh and Eric and Bai and Sed really make some nice plays out of the backfield in the passing game. Came out injury-free, 15 practices. Thank you for all the prayers. I appreciate that. And with that, I'll take any questions.
Matt was saying you kept it vanilla with the rollouts and all that.
Mm-hmm.
That looks pretty good with your athletes that you got putting pressure on.
No, it was a very simple game plan today to be the most effective we can. You know, as you go through camp, you're trying to get the whole Bible on film to be able to, for the kids to understand what's going on. And then when you get to a day like today or you get to a game, you dwindle it down to a simple assignment package to be able to perform at your best. And the quarterbacks did a nice job of, the runners ran the ball very well. The play action game looked good and quick game looked good. And at the end of the day, it was a very productive day. And you know, these Saturdays that every time we get to put the quarterback in live situations with action around them and see how they perform, that's just more experience for them. So good day.
Did that what today looked like? Maybe is the way this team's going to look.
I would believe UNT believes in being a simple assignment and let those kids perform, lean on our strengths. And you know, today having the ability to run the ball and play action off of it is something that we've been known for. So we look forward to continuing.
Between practice 1 and 15, can you tell us where each quarterback maybe improved the most?
I think both just improved the most in decision making and accuracy, to be honest with you, especially down the field. I thought early on we were overthrowing some balls and not allowing our wide receivers to have opportunities to make plays. They're really talented if they can touch it, and they did a tremendous job over 15 practices of one, making great decision making as you saw today, no really forced balls anywhere, and then also just the accuracy part of giving our wideouts a chance to make plays. That's probably their biggest improvement for both kids.
How comfortable do you feel with where they're at now, knowing you do only have 25 practices until the season?
Yeah, we've got a lot of work to do, and it's not only going to be those 25 practices. Like we'll be visiting with every player next week and sitting them down. And really, for these two quarterbacks, it's also going to be about the summer. It's going to be about our player run practices. You know, we'll have 13 of those over the summer that the kids will have an opportunity to go out there and work on their own and learn on their own. And those kids hopefully will take those experiences along with training camp to improve. And by August, it's too late. You know, you really got to put some great work in from right now in film and strength and conditioning, and working with your wide receivers, have those player run practices, and then get to training camp, and hopefully you're firing on all cylinders by then.
We know that
Players to get an update on.
Go ahead.
Dominic Davis, we haven't seen Dominic Davis,
Randall Grimes,
and
Yeah. So
yeah,
Dominic Davis had a deviated septum that we went ahead and repaired. Nothing that will hold him out. He should be back for June. And then Pi and Randall had some academic obligations this week that we allowed them to focus on down the stretch. We got 3 weeks to go here left in the semester, and this is an important time for all of us.
we know that you're going to have an open quarterback competition in the fall, but I'm wondering how far ahead are the two guys right now than the one coming in?
Obviously, you have experience. So you get these valuable reps through the spring, and you know that summer period's a very valuable period for all the quarterbacks out here on campus. You know, but I've always thought spring really helps you to have the opportunity to work with the receivers, have the opportunity to gain valuable experience, learn from some failures that hopefully will be success stories in the fall. But that definitely helps. Now, it's about also what you do in the summer, and that's the opportunity for JT and Matt and Jack and Helton to really have the opportunity to see where they're at and how much work that they pour into the summer.
Just to clarify, so JT can be here doing player run practice in the summer and participating?
Yes, those are all volunteer. Player run practice are voluntary, so everybody's allowed to be a part of those when they start. Just try to pick up any little thing that you can while you're out here, and having the ability that he's been out here driving down and watching some practices, every little bit helps. But it's really about him diving into playbook at home, him jumping on the cut-ups at home, and then he'll be here in June. He'll be as well as the rest of our freshmen, and that's when you get a great opportunity once they start school with that summer access. You do get 2 hours of meeting time with the kids during that summer access period, as well as they're doing those play run practices and they're getting chemistry with the wideouts. So, that's a valuable 60 days worth of work prior to camp, and that's where a young man at any position can really gain some experience and really get ahead.
Do you expect him to be here for the early summer school session?
I think he reports, if I'm not, don't hold me to it, I think he reports June the 8th. That's
Okay.
when our freshmen all return.
How important are those? Like, some years the summer one, are really important. Some years not. How big a deal is it?
I think very important because of the people that we lost off of last year's team. I think of other young men that will be coming on. One was out here today, Devin Williams and Amon Ross St. Brown coming on board with us, and being able to see where they are at is very valuable. A couple offensive linemen coming in, a couple defensive linemen, edge players that are coming in, as well as a big interior defensive lineman, Trevor Trout. Two elite corners, coming in with Elijah Griffin and Isaac Taylor Stewart. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Be able to see those kids, see how they work during the summer, and see where they're at. And if they're ready to go help us, they'll be out there. And if not, we'll continue to develop.
What's your
Learning curve for true freshman quarterback?
I put more onus on us as coaches, especially when you're having a first-time quarterback. No matter who it is going to walk out there, and that's going to be his first start. And you have to be smart enough as a coaching staff to say, okay, this is what we can handle in this moment right now, and let's lean on our strengths, whatever that might be, as we're going into that first week. It's unrealistic to come out there and say, okay, hey, he's going to be Sam Darnold or Matt Barkley or Cody Kessler day one, whoever that person is. You have to be able to let them grow in an appropriate way. And we have a lot of talent that's around that position. I think of Set and By out here today, of Stephen Carr, Dominic Davis, and Marquis Stepp, those two young tight ends that were making plays today. You get a Daniel Mortabebe back and a Tyler Petit back off injury, and those wideouts that are going to be here. So we've got enough pieces of the puzzle around. We just got to don't outthink ourselves as coaches and keep it simple for those kids and let them perform.
Your team as a whole, where do you think, are they about where you thought they'd be now the end of spring?
I think we're ahead of the game defensively. I'll be honest with you. I was so impressed with them being the third year in the system, the maturity. But really, I think about those kids that have come back, like a Porter, like a Amon, like a Cam, and a Jade, Marvell Tell, Chuma Adoga, Toa. They're so serious about their business right now, about not only helping themselves, but helping their team. I mean, by far, each one of them, I can say this is the best camp they've had since they've been here. And usually, sometimes, as a young person and an established person, sometimes you get comfortable. Sometimes you feel good, but not one of them to a man didn't come out here. And I'm so proud of the guy that you were talking to, Amon Marshall, so serious about his business, and then teaching and helping his younger brothers and doing those things. But that's who I've been most impressed with, is that older group that came back to really do something special, both for themselves and our team. I can't tell you how proud I am for them in this camp.
Let's go one more. You mentioned the other day that the D-backs were probably playing the best of any position group. I'm wondering who maybe grew the most as a position group.
Oh man, probably that group.
Okay.
I mean, they went from probably a group that has a lot of talent, but could have played better as a core, to now they are a core. I mean, you see them every turnover. You see them all taking off and celebrating. You see how they're helping each other, how they're demanding accountability for their level of play and their standard of play. And that's something, as a coach, when you see that, you're really happy, because it can't be from you. The best teams I've been on, the coach can't be the guy every day. It can't be. It's got to be the players. It's got to be that locker room. And when you start getting that from your players, man, that makes you happy. There's some great older players on this team that are doing a wonderful job, and they'll be the key to our success next year. All right, guys. Have a great spring. See you soon.